Hi, my name is AJ Cole, and I'm the punter for the Las Vegas Raiders, and you are now watching Spotlight Raiders Talk.
To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you break like glass, then this life's gonna eat 'em. Make mistakes real fast, then you learn how to beat 'em. If you take off the cast, you can see all the healing. If the pain's in the past, move on from the grave and put your foot on the gas.
What is going on, Raider Nation? What is going on? It's your boy Darian coming to you live with another video. It is the Spotlight Raiders Talk. Shout out to all the subscribers that have subscribed to the YouTube page. And this is your first time ever being at our YouTube page. We highly suggest that you subscribe and hit the bell button and get the latest news and all Raiders news. But we're back here with a preseason recap of the Minnesota Vikings versus our Las Vegas Raiders. If you have not watched the live stream of the play-by-play and reactions, make sure you go over there and check it out. But now this is our actual recap of this game. And I have to say, the Raiders look good in all four quarters. But I have to say, second quarter kind of looked a little bit iffy. Kind of third quarter looked a little bit iffy. But we still was able to come out with the win, 26-20 over the Las Vegas Raiders. So let's get into some actual stats in this game and see what the stats look like for both box scores for the Minnesota Vikings and for the Las Vegas Raiders. So we're going to start off with Sean Mannion. Sean Mannion did start off the game for the Minnesota Vikings. Started with 8 of 12, 79 yards, 6.6 average, and no touchdowns or anything of that nature. But he was sacked twice for 15 yards. But you did have Kellen Mond come in that really changed the aspect of this game, which he did have 9 of 14, 119 yards, 8.5 average with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks either, and 130.7 rating when it comes to that compared to Kellen Mond, not Kellen Mond, I'm sorry. Sean Mannion's 85.1. Now you want to go to the rushing for the Minnesota Vikings, which I thought the Las Vegas Raiders had it stout in the first couple of quarters, but the second and third quarter, they started to pick up a little bit. But we're going to get right into it. We have a few running backs that did play for the Minnesota Vikings today. Was Ty Chandler, 5 carries for 50 yards, 10 yards per carry. Longest was 14. That's why he had that 10 yards per carry, because of that long 14 yards. Then he had Kenny Nwagu with 7 carries for 41 yards, 5.9 yards carry, longest for 12. Then you had Brian Koback, 4 carries for 9 yards. Alexander Madison, 3 carries for 8 yards. And Kellen Mond, another quarterback that was able to run the ball, which was 3 carries for 7 yards. Now, the wide receiver core that they did have was pretty solid as well. They was catching some good balls and everything of that nature. So, Myron Mitchell, 2 receptions, 37 yards on 2 targets. Amir Smith Marset was 3 receptions for 31 yards. Did have some big plays in there. Tristan Jackson, 2 for 26. Albert Winston, 2 for 22 in for 3 targets, but he did have 2 touchdowns as well. Jalen Naylor had a few of them, but a couple of receivers was definitely target in here. The defense was really good too for them. Troy Dye for the Minnesota Vikings had 6 total tackles, 5 solo, and Jordan Hicks had 5 tackles, 3 solo for the Minnesota Vikings. Now let's just get into our Las Vegas Raiders, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into our Las Vegas Raiders and see what they did on this side, with all 3 backup quarterbacks is competing for the second and third spot on this roster. Now we're going to go with Jarrett Stidham that actually started the game when it comes down to it. Jarrett Stidham was 10 of 15, 68 yards, 4.5 yards not a carry, but per average. Sacked 3 times on a 76.5 rating. Then you have Nick Mullins. Nick Mullins really came in and brought a spark to this offense, knowing that Stidham did play well last week and Mullins didn't, but Mullins had the better game than Jarrett Stidham in this week, in my opinion. So Nick Mullins, 7 of 9, 94 yards, 10.4 yards average, and a touchdown with no sacks and 142.2 rating. And then you had Chase Garbers. Chase Garbers really didn't throw the ball that much in this game, but he was 2 for 3 for 19 yards, 6.3 average, sacked once, and an 84%, which was better than Jarrett Stidham as well. So these quarterbacks is getting all the work that they can to get that backup spot for Derek Carr. Now we can go into the running back position, because this is one of the most important positions that we've been seeing through the whole offseason, through the draft, and through free agency. So let's see what the running backs look like. Now, Britton Brown, we didn't see much of him in the Hall of Fame game, but he definitely get a lot of carries in this game for 14 carries and 54 yards and a touchdown, which I thought that touchdown should have been to Austin Walter, in my opinion. But Austin Walter grinding hard and running the ball hard. I think he's very, very special with this offense. So he had 7 carries for 30 yards, 4.3 yards a carry. His longest was 9 yards, and it was a tough 9 yards as well. Jarrett Stidham had 4 carries for 16 yards. Kenyon Drake had 4 carries for 15 yards. Zamir White only had 5 carries for 13 yards. I really wanted to see more out of Zamir White, but hey, it's the preseason. I could completely understand. Nick Mullins, 2 carries for 9 yards. Keelan Cole, 1 carry for 5 yards that did give us a touchdown. And Chase Garbers, of course, he did have 2 carries for -2 yards at the end of the day. But hey, that's part of the game. This is part of the preseason, and that's how we rock out when we come to the Raiders. But at the end of the day, let's go into the wide receiver core and see what we got here. Now, DJ Turner, 3 receptions for 58 yards and a touchdown on 4 targets, but he caught it right in stride, reverse pivot, ran down sideline, touchdown. DeMarcus Robinson had 2 good catches for 28 yards on 3 targets. Keelan Cole, 4 catches for 26 yards on 5 targets. Kenyon Drake, 2 catches for 17 yards on 2 targets. Mac Hollins, 1 catch for 15 yards, which I thought we would have saw Mac Hollins a little bit more in this game, in my opinion, but we did not see a lot from Mac Hollins, and I understand why. They're trying to keep him and get him ready and everything of that nature for the regular season, but he still has to fight for a spot because, like I said, the running back position is just as big as it is for the wide receiver position as well. So Darian Butler, very, very impressive, the undrafted free agent from Arizona State. 5 total tackles, 3 solo. Roderick Teamer looked really good today as well with 4 tackles and 3 solo. Amik Robinson, 4 tackles and 3 solo. Luke Matterson, 4 tackles for 2 solo. Darius Phillips, 3 total tackles and 3 solo. And it goes on and on and on. So me personally, I'm going to just be honest of who looked good and who looked bad. And me personally, I think Amik Robinson did not play well today on the defensive side of the ball. He was getting beat a couple times in the beginning. The new guy, Nate Brooks, I understand he's new, and we just signed him earlier in the week. Didn't look good on his defense. The defensive line was a really kind of like an understanding, knowing that it wasn't our first front 7, but at the end of the day, we were still able to get sacks. We were still able to get pressures. Malcolm Kuntz did look good, but he missed a few tackles there. But on a positive side, I feel like on the offensive side, we got to get better on the offense. Dylan Parham is not a center. Just go be honest. Dylan Parham is not a center, but he did hold his own in some aspects of this game. We saw Leatherwood come in this game late as well. So I'm very, very proud of how the Raiders played today, but there's a lot of things that we have to clean up. We got 2 more preseason games left, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more preseason games left, and I really love how the Raiders are playing so far, even though that the 3rd and 4th strings got in and it started to get competitive at the end of the game. But like I said, these games does not count at the end of the day. So with that being said, y'all, that is my little quick recap of this game. I am going to break it down some more on Reaction Monday tomorrow, so you do not want to miss it. So let me know what you think about this video, Raider Nation. Let me know what you think. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe to the channel. It's the Spotlight Raiders Talk. See you in the next live stream or in the next video. Peace.
To last with the webs I'm weaving, I could change the past with all I'm achieving. Got my foot on gas, never stop competing. If you